Hello guys, welcome back to the official replay of the community race number 2 at Brands Hatch in the BMW M2 competition. As you can see, we're in the Domino's livery, but all of a sudden, whilst I was streaming, you can go back and watch the full replay if you want, but I noticed the Pizza Hut car on the M2, and I was a bit of a shock on stream, and all of a sudden everyone changes to the Pizza Hut livery, and I get very upset. So it's just me in the Domino's livery this time around. So yeah, it was a nice touch for the boys sorting this all out. So appreciate it to all of the team. But yeah, let's get into qualifying. So again, a very quick and sharp qualifying. Obviously, the tyres that we are using are the sports softs and the sports mediums, not the sports hards, as I said in a video previous, which is um, quite rude of me saying. But yeah, no, so as you can see, we are coming out on our outlap. We do have a lot of Pizza Hut liveries, as I'm going to let them through. Very distraught I am. But yeah, so going on to our flying lap now. So I'm at the back of the grid now. This is Bazza is a bit on the grass there. Um, but yeah, no, we start our lap. So we've gave ourselves a bit of a gap between everyone because I knew I was pretty quick compared to everyone else in the pack, which I was quite happy about. But you'll see what shenanigans happen in this lap. You see I'm oversteering. This car is very hard to handle in some stages of the track. Obviously still on the controller, as you can probably tell by my interactions with the joystick. You see my turning radius and that on the above my gears and stuff. But yeah, so coming down to the Pilgrim's Drop now. We weren't really too good on this first sector, and coming on to the second sector, I was pretty sad actually at this stage. So I would have to kind of pick up the pace here. I see I'm catching up to Sobariar. Let's see, he's going a bit wide there. I'm nearly clipping the gravel as well. Mark's going off onto the grass. He's trying to avoid us. Coming around to Sheen Curve. Barry just nearly oversteering here, so I'll have to slow down a bit as well. I'm right behind him. He's nearly oversteering. He's nearly spinning out. And you know, so coming around to the last corner of the track at Brands Hatch GP, and we're going to come across the line. Everyone's setting 34s, 35s. I'm seeing Chris G is in the lead. Oh, we're going to come across the line in pole position. No, we're not. We're going to be second, actually. So 2 tenths behind Chris. Chris setting a 34.6, and there is the grid for this race. So let's get into it. So as you guys can see, the grid is lined up. This is the official replay for Brands Hatch GP Community Race number 2, and let's get underway. 5 red lights, and they are out. Let's see if anything happens coming down into Paddock Hill. You see, I've lost out a bit of time there to Super Silvers and Lawnmower. And we're going to try and hold that outside. We did go with the medium tyre. I don't know what everyone else is on. It looks like Chris is on the soft. Someone going off at the back there. I think that was Mark. And pretty clean start. Me drifting around the first round Druids, as I say. Red Fox and Barry having a bit of a collision, not too much there. Mark's in last position, so he's going to have to gain a few positions in this race. 18 laps around Brands Hatch GP. Previously we did go Brands Hatch meet and Lawnmower. Did have a little meet up. We went to watch the BTCC around this beautiful track. As I'm not too far away from it, and you know, Lawnmower wanted to come down as well, which is quite nice. Anyway, let's go on to the races. So I see, obviously me in second position, Lawnmower and Super Silvers are following. I think they was on the softs, sports softs, but I can't exactly know until they want to make a move, maybe. So yeah, Lawnmower is actually going a bit wide there. Super Silvers following quite nicely. Not avoiding all grass and all gravel is Super Silvers, and it looks like he does have the run on Norma, but it's just not going to be enough. Very hard to get moves done around Brands Hatch GP, especially when these cars are not very aerodynamic. Um, more power to the rear, and a very oversteery, as I could probably sum this car up. But yeah, no, so starting lap 2, I see Red Fox down in 6th. Law might have a bit of a moment there. Let's go back on the replay and see what actually happened. So just coming down to Paddock Hill and just gets his braking point completely wrong. And unfortunately taking action, gaining the gravel and losing a couple of positions is Luma. And Mark's going to take advantage of that as well. And he's going to gain 2 positions from that previous lap. So very good from Mark. Mark going side by side with Red Fox. Red Fox is going to defend it very nicely. Red Fox taking no action against Mark there, and just saying, "See you later, Mark." You know. In the meantime, Chris has pulled an absolute stonker of a lead, so he must be on them soft tyres. If he's on them medium tyres, I'll be very scared. As you see, me in second position, Super Silvers, Barry, Red Fox, Mark, got Lorma and Buzzer in last for now. And yeah, we've got a little battle here for fourth. We see Barry is holding up Red Fox and Mark, it looks like. Um, Everyone was struggling. These tyres were very hard to last. As you see, Red Fox having a bit of a moment there, losing a couple of positions. Mark and Barry going through. I think Barry was already through, but yeah, they obviously Mark gaining another position. So it's only the second lap, and Mark has actually gained 3 positions, which is very good from him. So fair play to Mark. Mark's now going for a move nearly on Barry as the last corner there. And he is going to get the run actually, and I think Mark is on them soft tyres. I think Barry's on the mediums. Um, but yeah, good move for Mark there. Yeah, not much happening at the front of the pack as well. Buzzer actually comes in the pits. He's on the medium tyres, going to change to the softs. Very, very strange strategy, but it could work. We never know. Um, so yeah, Red Fox nearly going for a move on Luma, going side by side. Is he going to get the job done? Luma's going to hang around the outside and actually gaining a bit more speed. So fair play to Luma there, very good defending. And unfortunately, Red Fox has to stick behind him for another lap. Maybe even send it down the inside at one point of this lap. Let's see. He's still in second position at this point, losing a lot of time to Chris. Which what I found quite nicely was the tyres are so different. The soft tyres were so much better than the mediums, which was made it a lot more better because there was a lot more. If there was different strategies going on, a lot of people would be everywhere. So that's what I kind of achieved with Luma setting up uh, this community race, and there will be a lot more community races like this, as well as I want to point out the CSL League will be starting in November. We're kind of finalising the time now, so I will let you guys know. Even if this video isn't posted before November, I'm hoping it does. But yeah, that will be starting in November. In the meantime, Super Silvers has made a move on myself, and he's just gone very deep there, and I've took the position back. Super Silver's putting a bit of pressure on me now, so I'm gonna have to kind of defend quite defensively. Defend quite defensively. What a word. What a couple of words. Yeah, no, coming around this lovely track on the Cooper Straight. I see Mark has gained another position. Um, and he's up into fourth position now, so he's made a lot of positions in these first couple of laps, which I'm very surprised about. So he's just out of nowhere. Mark has gained a lot of speed, and he's actually catching me and Super Silver, so we do have to watch out for that. Depending on what laps we pit, depending on what laps everyone pits, is depending on where you're gonna finish, what time, or how much tyre life you got left in the mediums or the softs is dependent. Let's see. on board with Super Silvers here, just following me quite nicely. He's not too worried too much. I think he was on the soft tyres, um, as I can remember. Had a little bit of an oversteering moment there. But yeah, losing a bit of time there. Approaching this last corner now. Yeah, not much happening here. Let's see, Super Silvers is gaining every lap on myself. We was doing, I think we was doing 36 at this point. But yeah, as you see on the straights, because getting a better exit, better tyres, it does look as if he is on the soft tyres. Yeah, putting again more pressure on me. Barry is going in for a pits, as you can see on the left hand side of your screen. He was on the medium tyre, as you can see as well. So he's probably going to change to the softs. Him coming out of pits onto the soft tyre, and oh, I think that was a medium actually. Strange. It might have been the soft. I'm pretty sure it was a soft he changed to. But yeah, in the meantime as well, again, Super Silver's gaining more and more pressure on me as he's right on my rear bumper, and he's going to move to that inside, coming down Paddock Hill. Here we go, coming down to fast right-hander here, and unfortunately gets the job done on myself, and he's up into second position. So we're going to have to try and just put as much pressure on him this lap. And as he does, he has a bit of oversteer there, and unfortunately, we're not going to gain anything from it. Super Silvers is in second, so he's gained something from it, and also we have a wild Mark following us, so we're going to have to watch out for that in the next couple of laps. Hopefully we do gain this position back. I don't think it's going to be possible. That's the thing, you can't really overtake until the main straight, or if someone actually messes up or oversteers. So you have to just watch out for, you just have to be as consistent as you can around brands, because if you completely mess up, like you go into the gravel bank, then you're bound to lose a lot of positions a lot of time. And yeah, brands is all about being consistent. So yeah, on board with Red Fox here. Well, not on board, but showing Red Fox and Luma. Not really much happening between them two. As you see, the battle for second is upon us. Mark is actually catching very scary, very scary pace from Mark here. I don't know what he was on at this point. What point he was on in this stage of the race. He might have put a bit of a turbo in his car. I don't know. Depends with Mark, especially with them Pizza Hut liveries. I don't know what they've done with them cars. Um, but yeah, so this is the battle for second as for now. Obviously, you do have Red Fox and Luma behind, but it's not as close as us three right now. So we are on board with these very quick CXI lads. Um, there was a difference in pace, but it just comes down to obviously knowing the track, but then you've got to know the tyres, you've got to know the car, you've got to know how everything performs, because obviously I didn't really have too much practice. I didn't have practice at all, to be honest. I just obviously was practicing to get the race and the track right and the pit stops and the tyre wear with Luma, so I wasn't really pushing as hard. But when it come down to qualifying, it obviously did show that obviously my pace was inconsistent, as you will see in this race anyway. Um, but yeah, as you see, going back on board with Chris, having a beautiful race. His lap times being very consistent to his T. He was in the 35s, but now he's 36, maybe because of tyre wear. But as of right now, as you can see, Mark is right on our tail. We have lost a lot of time to Super Silvers, and it just shows um, that obviously us being on the medium tyre is going to be more difficult. But we are going to be on the soft tyres soon. As we go a bit wide there as well, touching grass, and Mark's going to get through. And unfortunately, we're down to 4th position. Very sad moment for myself. Letting Mark through there, very bad corner there from myself. But yeah, so we're gonna have to just let Mark through and try and just stay on pace with him. And ideally, just need to put our head down and just get some consistent lap times in. Our lap times haven't been that bad as you can see on the right hand side of your screen. 37.1, 37.0, 37.9 and 38.5. Maybe because the tyres again are wearing down. Um, but in this case, obviously you got Lawman and Fox there getting a bit closer. Bazza in 7th, and you've got a wild barrier in last position. I think he went for the alternate strategy. I think he pitted early as well, like Bazza. So maybe these guys are going to come into it at the end. We'll see. Um, but yeah, as of right now, again, lap 7. So we're not even halfway there yet. You can't obviously get any safety cars, so if someone goes off the track, you can't get a safety car, unfortunately. If they did add a safety car, it would be pretty cool. Um, but yeah, myself in 4th. Staying with Mark a bit, but obviously as you see in the corners, the soft tyre just is a lot better. Is a lot more grippy. And as you just saw there in the background, Lorma and Red Fox are starting to catch myself. Obviously because again on the medium tyre. Um, yeah, Pilgrim shop there. Lovely, lovely little scenery here. Again, Brand is one of those tracks. A lot of history involved with it, so that's why it's such a good track, and that's why it's still being raced today. And yeah, a lot more memories to obviously be shown and to be held. A lot more trophies to be won here, especially this community race. I wonder who's going to come with victory in this community race. But yeah, on board with Mark there. I don't know if Mark's catching Super Silver. There's a big gap between us three now. Especially with Mark, with Red Fox and Lumar. I see Chris going in for his first pit stop of this race. This will be his last pit stop, of course. He was on them soft tyres, now changing to the mediums. So we'll see how he does in this stint. As you can see, just pulling out just in front of myself. So we're going to have to just try and put him under pressure, as his tyres are going to be cold, so we'll just have to put a bit more pressure on him and see what we can do against that Pizza Hut livery. Can't believe they've done that. So yeah, this is the battle for first here, but obviously I still need to pit. Um, so we need to put as much pressure on Chris as we can. As you see, moving to the outside here, it's not going to work for us. Chris is going to go defensive. And we're gonna have to just try and go with a better angle, a better exit. And unfortunately, we're still within reaching distance with Chris, but Chris is on insane pace this race right now. So again, you just have to watch out for him. We have to nail our laps when we go on the soft tyre, and just see what we can do really. I see the fastest lap right now is a 35.069 by Chris himself. This will not improve until if someone is on the soft tyres like myself, or coming in for their stint on the softs, maybe can improve. But you see all over the back of Chris. We're not unfortunately going to get the move done this lap, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to pits this lap because of Chris going in. So coming round to the final corner, are we going to come in the pits? I think we're going very, very narrow. Yes, we are. And we're going to come into the pits for lap 9 of this race. So dead on halfway. We're going to have to try and make these soft tyres last, I think. Depending on... Unfortunately, I can't show you guys the everyone's tyre wear. I will include it in races further ahead, especially in the new league that we're going to be creating as well. But yeah, coming out of the pits into 5th position behind Lawnmower. I don't know if he's pitted already. But yeah, onto the soft tyres we go. And we're going to just see if we can catch everyone else. As they're already on Lawnmower here. And yeah, going to be showing a bit of pace from Sir Classified himself. And yeah, Lawnmower going a bit defensive there. Bit of a weave there. But we are going to hold it nice and tight around Surtees there, and we're just going to hold a better line. And are we going to get the job done? Coming down through the Pilgrim's Drop, we're going to go very, very close to Lawnmower here. We're going to go on the outside all the way round and get the job done, which is quite a very nice move there from myself. Unfortunate for Lawnmower there, but he tried to hold, but I think being on the medium tyres maybe not lasting, or maybe he's on the end of his soft tyre stint, depending. But as you can see, straight away the gap is already increased to about a second, and now we just have to watch out for Chris, Mark, and Silvers really at this point. Obviously, Silver's out in the lead still, hasn't pitted. Chris obviously has pitted. Mark's in the pits. Is he going to come out in front of us though? Is the real question. Buzzer and Red Fox are coming pretty close, so we'll have to see for that. As you do see on the leaderboards, we do get ahead of Mark, which is good to see. Um, just about, anyway. But as you, Luma and Mark are close as well, so they're probably going to be battling for fourth. Barry does come in the pits again, I think, I'm pretty sure. Most probably changing to the softs again, maybe trying to go for the fast lap, or maybe the mediums. Um, but yeah, coming through here onto the Cooper straight with Buzzer and Red Fox. These two battling for sixth position, the best position in the game, I'm pretty sure, um, at this stage of Gran Turismo. But yeah, them guys are improving on their lap times. But their lap times are not going to be fast enough to get in that top three as of right now. Super Silvers hasn't pitted again, like I said. He'll more likely be coming into the pits soon. His tyres must be dead right now. Especially if he's pushing as hard as he is. I see Red Fox there in the background have a bit of a mess up. And Bazza, I think, does get through. And unfortunately for Red Fox, he's going to be down into P7. So Bazza in P6. Gaining that best position in the game. You do have, as you can see, Mark and Luma getting a bit closer. I see I've just gone off in the distance, and I'm pretty sure, as you can see in a minute, yes, I set to 34.2. My PB, my best lap time so far ever around here in this car. I see Buzzer going very wide there as well, getting a 0.5 second penalty, and Red Fox gets back through. Just showing the consistency is key, and yeah, so yeah, very fortunate for myself. 8 tenths quicker than the fastest lap so far. So congrats to myself. I don't think we're going to see anyone that beats that, or maybe I might get a personal best depending on what my stint's like. We do still have another 6 laps to go, including this one as well. So as you see, Chris is there just in the background. So we are gaining a lot more time on Chris right now because of Chris being on the medium tyres. We do have Super Silvers that's still not pitted. Um, I'm more likely going to see him pit either this lap or next lap. Again, them tyres must be completely gone. We will not know until Super Silvers does probably comment on this video. Uh, but anyway, Super Silvers still in the lead. Um, and we don't know if he's going to pit yet. No, he's not pitted yet. My God, he's literally doing a Lewis Hamilton, saving them tyres. As you see, the lap time isn't too bad for Super Silvers, to be fair. I don't know what happened on lap 13? No, what's happening? Why did I say 13, 12, 13? I don't know. Anyway, um, yeah, so I don't know how quick Chris is closing in on Super Silvers, but I think Super Silvers is still gaining away from Chris because obviously Chris being on the medium tyres. Let's see, Luma changes to the soft tyres here. He's gone and done his long medium stint and just gets out in front of Bazza, coming down to Pazzakill into Druids. And he does just about fend off Bazza there. Very scared Luma was there. And yeah, Mark still in fourth. He's had a very good race. Coming from the back all the way up into fourth right now. Very good race from him. So right here, right now, myself is catching Chris. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you the gaps and stuff to everyone, which they could add for future like cinematics and like race replays for YouTubers and streamers and stuff, which will look pretty cool. Um, but this isn't a what we want video. This is the community race video. So let's get back into business. And as you can see, Buzzer and Luma are there. Red Fox is actually started to gain away from the two behind. You see there's a yellow flags there, and unfortunately Super Silver's gone into the barrier, and he's going into the pits. Let's just see on his point of view on board with Super Silver's here. I think he just completely missed the pits. Yeah, no, actually, as you can see there, he clips the grass and unfortunately spins around and has to hit barrier and goes into the pits, losing a lot of time. Unfortunately, Super Silvers, and yeah, going into the pits, he was on the soft tyres, surprisingly, and going on to the mediums. As you see, cutting the pit lane, getting a 3-second penalty, which is crazy for Super Silvers. But yeah, so Mark's now on the offense to Super Silvers. He's on the attack, and as well as I am with Chris. Actually, look how close this is now. Oh, I didn't realise how quick I catched up, and going on the inside of Chris here, um, in 30s, and getting the job done on lap 14. So we just have to kind of save our tyres now, and see what the best option is to try either defend Chris or maybe just go full guns blazing, or all guns blazing, my bad, and trying to get away from him. So yeah, I see Luma and Bazza are getting a bit closer as well, so there's going to be a bit of a battle there for 6th position, the best position, may I say. Luma getting the run on Bazza. Is he going to go with the inside? Yes, they're going to go too wide, and Luma taking a very narrow line, and unfortunately Buzzer holds the outside and defends that very well, so fair play Buzzer. And at this stage, I know Buzzer's gone off into the... Oh no, Buzzer's gone off into the gravel, unfortunately, yeah, but yeah, Luma gets through, and as see, Super Silvers was taking his penalty. Mark gets through to 3rd, which is crazy. I don't think he's going to have the pace to catch the top 2. Oh my god, myself has gone off as well into the gravel bank down at Paddock Hill. And unfortunately, as you see all the dirty tyres, oh my goodness. And unfortunately, Chris gets back through and takes first again. But now again, he's going to have to fend off myself on them soft tyres, if my soft tyres can survive still. Um, but yeah, as you see, Super Silvers is kind of losing a bit of time to Mark. Mark's starting to gain away as the Red Fox in the background there is catching on Super Silvers because of what he done on that last lap. So this is the battle for first right now. We do have myself and Chris still in the battle for first. Unfortunately, my error down in the first corner going into the gravel bank. And as you can see, we're obviously still on the catch, but we do get another. We're getting penalty now, unfortunately. 0.5, as you can see, cutting a bit of the track, and we're going to lose a bit more time to Chris on this lap. So it's not going all our way right now. Our lap times have been pretty consistent. Not that last lap, but they've been pretty consistent on the new stint. But yeah, we're just losing a bit more and more time to Chris. And as you can see, right now, Mark, Super Silvers and Red Fox, I think, was in the background. And this is the battle for 3rd right now. So Super Silvers has gained a bit more, very surprisingly. And he may even have the run on Mark here, coming down to Paddock Hill. And he's not as close as I thought, unfortunately. But yeah, the battle is on, and actually Red Fox is hunting down like a fox, and coming down into up the Druid. Sorry, Mark defending, going very narrow there, and it's not able in Super Silvers to get through on the inside. Very good defending there from Mark. I would have done the exact same if I was in his shoes or in that Pizza Hut car, which I shouldn't be. But yeah, so lap 16 now, getting very close to the end, and I still haven't got through on Chris, and we just have to watch out for that, because we may not even get a first position because of Chris's pace and his consistency. Um, but yeah, right now this is where it's at, the battle for 3rd. Chris actually getting a 0.5 second penalty, me having a bit of an oversteering moment there. And am I going to have enough to get past Chris coming around to the last corner? as he serves his penalty. I'm going to be very close, yes, just about getting the inside. And very fortunate for myself, we do gain the lead once again. And we do gain the lead on Chris, so we do have to just try and push our car as much as we can without going into any more gravel banks. And yeah, I see Mark and the Super Silvers have got a bit more further away from each other. Red Fox is now on the push for Super Silvers, so this is getting pretty tight between them. We do have Luma following, but he's on the world of his own right now, by himself, unfortunately. Wishing he could be in this battle for third. I see Red Fox going on the inside of nearly Super Silvers again. Super Silvers following from last lap, bit of deja vu. Super Silver's going to do it to Red Fox. He's going to get in the inside and defend very well against Red Fox. So it's looking as if Super Silvers is starting to lose a bit of tyres. His tyre wear is starting to go down a bit. But yeah, this is where it's at. The battle for third. For that last podium position. I see myself and Chris actually ahead on the map. I've started to put a bit of a lead, but it's where you have to be consistent is where it's going to gain you to victory. And I haven't been that consistent on this soft stint, so I just have to try and fend off Chris for the time being. I see Red Fox and Super Silvers are very close again this time. Super Silvers having a bit of an oversteering moment, but it's not going to give Red Fox any advantage as of yet. Coming around to Shin Curve here, and onto this left-hander. It's still sticking with the same three cars, same three positions. And yeah, coming to the last corner, is Red Fox going to gain the advantage here? He's not going to be close enough, not quite. We do start lap 17 of this race, second to last lap of this. Oh no, I think it's the last lap actually. Yes, it's the last lap of this race. So we do have to watch for these three drivers ahead, as well as myself and Chris. Myself has pulled a very big gap to Chris now, losing a lot of time from him. And Red Fox is going to go down the inside of Super Silvers on this last lap into Druids. Super Silvers having a bit of an error, and unfortunately him having dirty tyres is going to cost him fourth position. Is Red Fox going to get Mark on this last lap? We do have to watch. Red Fox having a bit of an oversteering moment as well. Luma starting to get a bit closer, but it's just not going to be enough on this last lap. Buzzer in 7th position. I think Barry actually rage quit, unfortunately, for my friend. But it's okay. I see coming around to these last couple of corners for myself. Look at the gap that I've pulled to Chris. I've actually had a stonker of a last lap here. Chris in 2nd position. Is he going to stay 2nd? He most probably is going to. But like I said, it's for 3rd position right now. But we are going to go on board with this beautiful man as myself, coming around to the last corner of this amazing community race that we had. Not as close as I thought with the top two for this last lap, but we are going to take 1st position, 2nd for Chris, and we are going to go on board with the boys in them red and black cars, in the Pizza Hut liveries. Red Fox and Mark are going to be pretty close, but it's not going to be close enough. Mark is going to take 3rd position, 4th for Red Fox, 5th for Super Silvers, 6th for Lawnmower, and coming around the last corner as the man who creates the liveries for us, as well as Mark, it's going to be Buzzer coming home in 7th position. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit that like button and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.